As LA County eyes the next phase of recovery after these historic wildfires, some say things will never be the same in Southern California. Not just the charred landscape as it heals or the new homes that will take shape, but the politics of LA voters as well. That, at least, is what my next guest says. Actor Dean Cain grew up in Malibu and lived in Pacific Palisades for years before moving to Nevada. Dean, thank you so much for joining us.
I'm honored to be here. Thank you.
You were raised in Malibu. You spent 50 years living in California. I do want to show our viewers this video that you posted. It's your parents' home that they built. It's completely destroyed by these fires. You've been very vocal in the past few days. You've blamed LA Mayor Karen Bass, Governor Gavin Newsom on their response. You say they are not taking care of their people. Those are tough words. Can you expand on that as, of course, you see your neighborhood burn to the ground?
Well, I mean, there's so many things to go to this, but let me just say this. The firefighters and the first responders have been amazing. They are superheroes. God bless them. I'm no critique of them whatsoever. But preparation, you know, they've had years. 2014, we passed Proposition 1 to build a bunch of new billions of dollars for new reservoirs in California. None built. You know, the Santa Ynez Reservoir, empty. We don't have desalination there. We should have that. There should be no problem like this. The Santa Ana winds aren't new. The fires aren't new. I've grown up in Malibu my entire life. We get these fires. Not preparing to fight them is a failure of leadership and it's mismanagement. And this time it led to just absolutely, I mean, Pacific Palisades looks like Hiroshima. It looks like an atomic bomb dropped on it and it's gone. You know, personally for us to lose the houses, my parents, my mom was crying for, days, but we had already moved out of there. So for me, I'm a little bit less sentimental about it,
Sure.
just because I saw the writing on the wall. This is the reason I moved out. This kind of mismanagement, this kind of overregulation, this kind of horrible policy decisions that lead to death and destruction. And that's what they're getting. So I'm praying that the voters of California wake up and decide they don't need this kind of mismanagement. They want people who are capable in these offices, and they vote accordingly.
Dana, I want to ask you about what the new DA in California mentioned a moment ago. We've been reporting homeowners. They're called stayers, who are armed. They're trying to protect their homes from looters. The DA is urging them to leave, saying let law enforcement do their job. I want to ask you what you think about that.
I appreciate DA Hochman. I like him a lot. He is 1,000 times more competent than the former George Gascon, who was a problem. I am a deputy sheriff. A sworn deputy sheriff, have been for about 10 years. I would also be a stayer. I'm a Second Amendment guy. I sit on the board of directors for the NRA. I'd stay in my home, and if you came to loot it, you're going to die.
Simple as that. I want to go back to another point you just made. You say you think LA voters will undergo a massive change of politics because of what we're seeing play out in California right now. Is this a red and blue issue, or more about the capabilities of the people that were voted into office?
Well, it's a bit of both. Certainly the capabilities of the people who came into office, but you look at, Rick Caruso. He hired a private firefighting force for his mall there in Pacific Palisades, and guess what? It's just fine today. That's called preparation. That's called competency. And so I think it's not really a red or blue issue. I mean, at first I was, I voted for, Bill Clinton back in the day. And, as I was growing up, and it's not a red or blue issue. It's a safety issue. It's a prerogative issue. What's more important? Where does it sit? And I think when your home burns down, your entire life is gone, you start thinking, well, what policies led up to this? Maybe I should vote differently. And the most intemperate people, the least obliging people and open people that I've met have been people who have been on the far left. I mean, if you disagree with them, they call you every word under the sun and every ism and thing and stuff. And it's crazy. If I disagree with somebody, then we can have a conversation and we can disagree about it. But I don't wish them ill will or harm.
Well, Dean Cain, we really appreciate your time.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.